Wow. Mr. Bob Cousy, thank you, sir, for being here tonight. I know that you and my dad were not only teammates, but good friends, and it's a privilege for all of us to have you here tonight. So thank you, and God bless you. Let me start by saying that it's a sincere honor for my brother and I to be before you all today. We're here with close family members and friends who wish to extend our gratitude for not only just being here, but being a part of this Hall of Fame enshrinement. We realize now more than ever how important our father was, not only to us, but to many more of the individuals and a society in its own. The irony is that if my father were here before you all today, I'm certain that his entire speech would be about thanking God and thanking those individuals who were important, whether they knew it or not, that helped him get here today and made this day possible. You see, my father was a very humble man. As children growing up, Big Don Barksdale was just dad. We knew that he played in the NBA, but we really didn't grasp the significance at that point in time. Well, I think back now and I say to myself, why in the world didn't you ask more questions about being the man of many first? And more importantly, what it took to get there. And I'm sure that if my dad was asked that question, he'd tell me exactly what he told me on all the other times I talked about asking and about overcoming adversity. And that is, son, if you have a passion behind something, there's nothing that can stand in your way. See, my dad taught me about how passion builds success at an early age. And although my dad could be deemed a very successful individual, not one time do I ever remember him bringing up one of his accomplishments or relishing when another individual brought up an accomplishment about him as well. I don't intend on doing so tonight, but I do, however, want to thank God for not only blessing him with the physical abilities, but also thanking him for those experiences that he had throughout his life that brought that mental toughness and the humbleness to him. Because I'm not sure that if he didn't have those relationships and those experiences, we'd be here before you all tonight. That being said, there were many people throughout his lifetime who helped him throughout his athletic career, and I can't name them all, but I do know the individuals that he brought up. Bob Cousy, by far, was one of the individuals he used to highlight. But also UCLA's coach, Wilbur Johns, and the great Jackie Robinson, the Honorable Thurgood Marshall, and Olympic Committee member Fred Magoria, coaches Omar Bud Browning, and Adolph Rupp, Oakland Bittner's owner, Lou Bittner, and coach Alvin Kite, Baltimore Bullets player and coach Buddy Jeanette, Boston Celtics coach Red Auerbach, of course, and last but not least, that high school coach who cut my dad 3 years in a row. I'm telling you, if it wasn't for that individual, I'm not sure that we'd be standing here before you tonight, and that he would have what it took to get through all the adversity that he had later on in his career. To Mr. Al Addles and Mr. Cornell Meyer, you were both good friends of my dad, and he loved you dearly. And we thank you for your involvement in Save High School sports. As for the other organizations, I'd like to thank the National Basketball Association, the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, and the early African American pioneers of the Game Committee for ensuring that an appropriate process and careful consideration was paid to those individuals and players and contributors who paved the way and are not overlooked and forgotten. To our family, the last generation, those individuals who knew my dad and helped them accomplish some things. To my grandmother and grandfather, I know that they're up there with my dad smiling as big as they possibly can right now. To my Aunt Pam, to my Uncle Nat, to my cousin Tion, Nat, my mom, my brother Don, and my sister-in-law Joy, and my wife Susan. My father loved us all dearly, and I'm sure he's proud of us as we go through our journey in life. To the next generation, LaStar, Marvin, D'Angelo, Brianna, Ariana, Xavier, and little Eddie, I know that you've already started contributing towards your grandfather's success and even your great-grandfather's success. Please remember the earlier quote that if you have a passion behind something, there's nothing that could stand in your way. And finally, to Mr. Doug Harris. Doug, you've been the driving force behind this entire process that brought Don Barksdale's name to the forefront. And we can't repay you for what you've done. It's been over 20 years, and you've never given up. You've written documentaries, you've filmed documentaries, and more importantly, you've ensured the process for all the nominations were fulfilled to the end, and now here we are at the Hall of Fame. I thank you, and we love you like a brother. We love you like a family member, so thank you so much. In closing, I want to thank Big Don Barksdale. Dad, we love you, and we'll be forever proud of you, not only for being a Hall of Famer, but for being a significant and great person who made a change on society. Thank you.